We are the biggest non-franchise business brokerage in the country right now, Hedgestone.
Investors have to be accredited. Obviously, they have to have good vibes. They have to have good energy. They have to have liquidity, and they have to be open to, how do you know what the value of the business is? How do you confirm it? Like, what's the process in that underwriting for you and your investors?
It's a very slim margin. Your biggest expenses, food costs, payroll.
Yeah. How many businesses do you operate today, or is this something you just started?
13 different businesses, car washes, other businesses outside of Hedgestone.
Financing in industry field is important. What type of financing, how do you normally structure these deals? Are they selling because they're looking to retire? Are they selling because they just want to move on to a different project? Who are most of your sellers today? Hello, hello, hello. As always, welcome to the We Talk, but most importantly, We Lend podcast. We have our dear, dear friend, Michael, who's also known, famously known as the Business Broker King, with I think, almost 1 million followers at this point? And counting?
833, I think.
Woo, 830, he's humble. 833,000 followers. That's not easy, by the way. That's a huge, huge accomplishment.
Yeah, it took a long time.
I bet it did.
Very long time.
I bet it did. But I appreciate you coming out, appreciate you being here, coming out all the way to Richmond Hill, New York to do this podcast. Why don't you tell the listeners who you are, what you do, and kind of introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, by the way. Great office, great culture here at We Lend. So my name is Michael Steinberg. I own Hedgestone Business Advisors. I've been selling businesses for the last, 13 years at this point. I was very lucky how I got into the business broker space. But fast forward, I can go over the story, but fast forward, we have about 300 full-time business advisors throughout the country.
Unreal.
And we're starting a movement, a real movement right now.
Right. I know you're actually working on a lot of things, which we're going to get into. But one thing I liked, I was actually going through your Instagram and your social media, and I think you made a comparison of the amount of realtors out there that are licensed throughout the nation. I think it was 7 or 8 million, I think you quoted, or maybe more.
Realtors, 2.5 million.
2.5 million. And then how many of them, how many houses are actually for sale? Versus then you compare that to the amount of business brokers out there and the amount of businesses for sale. So it just shows you that the huge disparity in the amount of, you can say, opportunity that exists in business brokering.
Think about this. There are 30 million businesses in the United States.
Unreal.
99% of them are small businesses.
Right.
That's my market.
Yeah.
Our market is 1 million to 30 million. We are the biggest non-franchise business brokerage in the country right now, Hedgestone. We only have 1,000 listings. There's 30 million businesses out there.
So you still have a lot more to climb up.
We're in infancy stages.
I love it. And recently, I also noticed that you have Kevin O'Leary that is somewhat involved with your group. I also noticed that you had a private dinner with, my dear friend, Eric Adams and Kevin O'Leary at Rouse. Tell me a little bit more about that. I mean, I've had some private, meetings with Eric. Really cool guy. Very unfortunate, with what happened.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit more about what Kevin O'Leary is doing with you guys, which, by the way, we love. Mr. Wonderful, the deal maker, the one and only, the one that sits right at the center of Shark Tank at every single episode. How is he involved? What is he doing with you, and how is he gearing you to the next level?
So he's, I've met him in person a bunch of times. I spoke at his event in Miami in front of all of his companies.
That's great.
He's still sending me deals.
How many companies does he own at this point?
From a year ago, he owns about 25, 30 companies from what I see.
Right. That's amazing, man.
Could be more.
That's amazing. So what is he doing with you now? I mean, how is he involved? What is he helping you with or not helping you with?
Yeah, so he is coming to my event. I have an event. I built a tremendous partnership between 50 individuals, heavy hitters in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, tri-state, even Florida, people come up to it. So what it is we are buying businesses. I have more listings than anybody. Right.
So not only are you selling businesses, but now what you've done is you're recognizing what business has a lot of value, which one is being sold at a very, very good price. And what you're doing is you're bringing in your dear friends and family, I'm assuming, and other clients into the fold of buying that business.
But they got to be
accredited.
They got to be a certain level.
Right.
$500,000 minimum liquid, $2
Love
million
it.
minimum net worth.
Yeah.
They have to have good energy.
Right.
And
right.
they got to be available at these meetings.
So there's an expectation, there's a
an
requirement.
expectation.
It's not just like, hey, give me your money and I'm going to run with it. No, you want them to be involved. You want their insight. You want their guidance as well. But you want them to see exactly where you're putting and deploying their money.
Yeah, because right now things are happening. Private equity companies are going belly up.
Right.
You know, Allure and Renovo just went belly up.
Yeah, I heard about that. Blackstone, I think, or BlackRock backed them, and I think
BlackRock.
they just wrote off $150 million of Renovo. So there's another group called Renovo Capital. They're a private lender, and then this group was also Renovo Capital, I think it was, but they were a restoration company or something like that, which they went belly up, and you're right.
So think about how much opportunity is there, right?
But you see what the problem was with that? I like that you make that point. What happened there was that, I don't remember who it was, Blackstone or BlackRock, one of those two, they put $150 million into one company. What you are doing, and I'm doing the same on my end, is when they're investing into your partnership, into our fund, their money is going into a number of different, in my opinion, in my view, loans, and in your case, their money is going into a number of different businesses. So they're capturing true diversification by doing that, instead of just buying one single business, where if that business goes belly up, well, you saw what happened with them. They just wrote off $150 million.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of money, man.
And what's great is that I see, and I'm seeing more deals than anybody in the small business world. So when I have 1,000 deals in front of me right now, I'm picking 2 to 5 deals a month that I think
You're picking the best.
the cream of the crop deals. Right. Maybe I bring I have 2 plumbing companies I'm going to bring together that are in the same area.
Right.
And we're going to say no more than we say yes. But when we get into a deal, it's going to be a juicy tomahawk. You know?
Kosher, I hope.
Kosher.
No butter.
Yeah,
no butter.
It's going to be like, wow.
I love it. Yeah. I love it, man. So you're essentially, the investors have to be accredited. Obviously, they have to have good vibes. They have to have good energy. They have to have liquidity. And they have to be open to diversification. And that's exactly what they're capturing. I love it, man. So by the way, you said 13 years is how long you've been doing this, right?
13 years is how long I've been doing this.
And counting. And how many businesses have you already sold to date?
So between myself and my company, I'm around 700 to 800.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So when you look at a deal, like when we're looking at a deal, and we lend to real estate operators, investors, there's always some type of collateral that's attached to it. There's some real estate that's attached to it. We know how to appraise it. We send out our appraiser. We know what the values are going to be after the repairs are completed, after the value is added, and the whole nine. But with businesses, it's a little different. There's so many different nuanced ways of valuing a business, whether it's an existing as-is value or whether it's going to be a future value. Like, how do you know what the value of the business is? How do you confirm it? Like, what's the process in that underwriting for you and your investors?
Sure, it's a great question. So every business is different. We're an industry agnostic brokerage, so we sell all different types of businesses. Let's take a restaurant, for example.
Yeah.
That's usually a business where the owner has to be there.
It's very, I would say, labor intensive. You have to be there because food is so delicate, right? Like you mess up once, that's it. It's done. You're never seeing that client again. So you're right. You have to be there, and you have to watch over everything that the chef is doing. But
100%. So in the restaurant business, it's a very slim margin.
Right.
Your biggest expenses: food costs, payroll, rent.
Yeah.
If you're making 10%, you're doing good.
Yeah.
Usually restaurant owners are there, so the multiple for restaurants is 1 to 2 times, single location.
Because it can't be run autonomously.
Your time is money, right? If you're looking at a laundromat, that's a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
You can you can run that semi-absentee.
Right.
Those laundromats trade between 4 and 5 times.
Right.
So there's 2 different types of businesses.
I see.
Car washes, they trade right now in New York on Long Island between 5 and 6 times.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think I told you this before. My cousin in Israel, City Wash, I believe is the name, they have over 40 car washes all of Israel. And they're looking to enter the U.S. market. So I'm going to be giving you a call about that. Look at you. You're already salivating on that.
Oh.
So maybe there's some type of partnership that we can build on that.
I have 70 car washes for sale.
I love it. I love it. And how many do you own today? How many businesses do you operate today? Or is this something you just started?
So I own a piece. I always have a little piece because at my time is, it's very hard to own 100% of something. 13 different businesses, car washes, other businesses outside
Nice.
of Hedgestone.
Nice.
No, 13 like car washes, and then I have other businesses that complement Hedgestone.
Right. So essentially what you're saying is when you're looking at a business, what you're looking at is the multiple that you're able to get from it when you plan to exit. The idea is you buy a business that can be run autonomously, that could be run on its own. You don't have to be there day in, day out. Maybe put a manager in there to count whatever dollars are going in and going out. And the only reason why you're doing that is because the multiple on the exit is a lot greater because those private equity firms and what have you are looking at that multiple more than anything else.
100%. I already have a
love it.
buyer for my businesses. I know who I'm going to sell it to.
I love it. Because you already have, 300 people working to be ready. So as an investor going into this partnership, I mean, it sounds like it's a no-brainer because at the end of the day, you have the in to know exactly what a business, what a good value is for a business to give it. You already know when it's being sold under value. So instead of you putting it on the market, you try to capture it yourself.
They get first look.
Yeah, exactly.
So my boy Matt, who works in Florida, he kills it. He does so well. He sells so many businesses. When he brings me a deal in Florida, and if it's that good of a deal, before we put it into the internal market, let's bring it to the group.
Yeah.
Let's see if, we even want to get involved too.
I love it. I love it, man. So financing, I mean, I know that's a huge part of your business. I mean, it's a huge part of any business, right? Is okay, you find the business, great. You know that there's value in the business, amazing. But how the hell do you finance it, right?
That's a great question.
So in real estate, look, I'm a real estate guy. I've been a real estate guy since I'm 13 years old, right?
Wow.
So I started door knocking with my Israeli cousin who came to America right after the army. He had this clever idea, and we're kind of going off topic, but he had a clever idea. He said, look, I'm door knocking in Corona, Queens. No one is opening the door, especially once they hear my hard accent. He was like 32 years old at the time. He said, but you're 13 years old. You're on summer vacation. Why don't you come door knocking with me? Which I did, and it worked out well. You know what? Because when you see a 13-year-old kid knocking on your door, you're going to open a door. You know what I mean?
I hope so, yeah.
As soon as the door was open, he would swoop in and the whole nine. So I was able to see the birth or the evolution of seeing a property from knocking on the door all the way down to closing it, all the way down to renovating it and then flipping it, right? But financing in any industry field is important. And I know that you rely a lot on SBA, which I know there was a little bit of a hiccup earlier because of the government shutdown. What type of financing, how do you normally structure these deals? Is it seller financing? Is it SBA? Is it private lenders like us? Is it merchant cash advance? I'm Baharian, right? So half Baharian, half Persian, what have you. But there's a lot of guys in the merchant cash advance that are Baharian. I'm sure you're familiar with the space. I'm sure you know it. Great guys, but are merchant cash advance guys getting involved in this? Like, how do you get the financing done?
You're going to be surprised. SBAs are not even that big of a deal to us.
Really?
They are. I mean, maybe make up 10% of our financing.
Okay.
The number one financing, this is why I love what I do, is seller financing.
Nice.
So I teach everyone in my company how to educate these sellers on why they should finance. Right? They should finance the deal. They're going to make
feel
interest.
Confident on it, yeah.
Feel confident, put your money where your mouth is, but you're also going to make interest.
Yeah.
You're also going to defer your capital gains over the course of the note.
Yeah.
So if you get $2 million up front, you got to get half of that right away to Uncle Sam. How about if you get $500,000 up front? You take that extra $1.5 million and you put it over 15 years at 7%. That's another $1 million in your pocket.
Agreed. And I'm assuming a lot of the people that are selling, are they selling because they're looking to retire? Are they selling because they just want to move on to a different project, different business? Who are most of your sellers today?
A lot of baby boomers that want to retire.
Right.
Their kids don't want their business. They built a nice baby over the last 20 years.
Right.
And they want the legacy to keep going. So they're open to seller finance because they want the next person to do good. They made their money. I do have people that, I do have a lot of deals that are juicy where the private equity companies own them and they're willing to give them up. And that's why I created this group too, is just to get these amazing deals and innovate and get in on it. I do have people that are looking to cash out. I have people that are losing money, all different situations, divorce.
We've seen a lot of those on our end as well, right? I mean, we provide not only bridge capital to real estate operators and investors, but people that are also in a really, kind of, I would say, unique position, divorces, partner disputes, and what have you. So we provide them that bailout capital. Obviously, as a private lender, we're backed by friends and family, obviously personal money as well. So every dollar I deploy it as though it's my own money, right? So we are flexible, but we like to be secured. So to your point of like, hey, the divorce happened, what have you, they were looking to sell. That's important because then there's an opportunity. But then the question is, how do you hedge against it? Now, I saw a video. I think it was you like to take selfies as soon as some news come out. You and I were talking about it right before this, and you said, "All right, new political climate coming in." And there's a lot of opportunities to come. There's a lot of people that are looking to sell, which sucks, right? They're looking to exit out of New York, run to the hills, wherever it is that they're running. But that also brings a lot of opportunity, right? So there's going to be a lot of sellers, business sellers that are looking to sell their businesses for a very good price, a discounted price.
Oh yeah.
How do you view that? I mean, what do you think of this new political climate? Do you really think he's going to be doing a lot of the things that he plans on doing? I mean, I saw a video earlier today where someone asked, "Hey, would you mind?" And I think he's a lot, smarter than many actually give him the credit for. I think he has good intentions and good plans, and I think he was running on a lot of things that he probably intends to do, but maybe once he gets into office, he starts realizing maybe it's not the right path to go in a capitalist kind of country, let alone the center of this country being New York City, the most capital state there is. I think that he's starting to change his tune. And one of the videos that I saw earlier today was someone asking him, "Hey, do you mind," it's a little funny, "do you mind if Netanyahu joins your inauguration?" And he said, hey, he can do whatever he wants, right? And right before, a couple of months before that, he said that he would arrest him. So he's changing his tune, but people don't know what to think of it, right? And like you said yourself, there's a lot of sellers that are looking to sell because they're afraid. What do you see now?
From that post, I got a lot of listings.
You're a smart guy, man.
A lot of listings.
You're a smart guy. I got to learn from you about all the social media stuff, man.
I got some supermarkets. I got some liquor stores. I even got a couple of buildings out of it.
I love it.
So I think that's definitely accurate. People are scared. I don't think they should be as scared as you can't control what's happening, but there's always something that's going to happen. And there's opportunity. There's opportunity.
Right. No, I think you said it right. Opportunities in situations like this, they have to be taken advantage of, right?
Yeah.
And if look, we've survived many mayors, we've survived many cycles, and New York City is going to survive this as well. I don't think he's as bad as people may think. I don't think he's going to do a lot of the things that he was running, for, under, and with the pretense of. I think that he is going to do the right thing. And I think that, look, today, one of the biggest challenges that we have is like the concern of safety, right? I got kids. I don't know if you have kids, but I have kids. They go to yeshivas and stuff like that. Like, my biggest fear was like, shoot, if he's going to defund the police, like, what kind of protections do we have, right? But him leaving, the existing NYPD commissioner, Tish, in her seat, I think shows that fact that he is not planning to defund the police. So that brings a lot of hope to many people around us. So I hope that definitely continues.
That's a great point. Absolutely.
Now, car washes. Look, I have a local car wash down the block from my house that I go to every single day, and I love the guys that work there. But they're all, Mexican. They're all from Venezuela, right? Most of them are probably, I don't know, I think they may not have, they're questionable citizens, right? You can say. Good guys. They're not the guys that are creating, the crime out there and the whole nine. Like, they're people that are actually busting their ass. Exactly. But, I was talking to one of them, and we've known each other for already 3 to 5 years. And I'm like, look, how are you not afraid to come out, to work? And he said, Ruben, I got no choice but to feed the family. But he did mention the fact that there was a lot of people that stopped showing up to work. Mm-hmm. In businesses that you're selling, in businesses that you may be potentially buying, that could be a challenge, right? People not showing up to work. I know a few of my borrowers. They're like, Ruben, we're having a hard time getting labor into the site because they're afraid to come to work. You know what I mean? So is that affecting you guys in any way in the businesses that you're selling, in the businesses that you're managing?
A little bit, but it hasn't really taken a huge hit.
Nice.
It's definitely a risk. So far, nothing has happened.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, that's, America is built on people from different countries, and
Right.
the people that work in the car washes, I don't care what anyone says, they're workhorses.
Right. Right.
And
Hardworking people, man.
You can't put a kid in there now and replace them. No way. Good luck.
No, you said it well. So, I'm an immigrant myself. I came here when I was 6 years old. My parents came here. My father was, I think, 40 and change. My mother was, I think, like around 40, yeah, also early 40s. My father came with $750 to his name, 6 mouths to feed, 1-bedroom apartment, 1 bathroom with sometimes 15 people living in that 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom because, as you have family coming in, they got nowhere to stay. Where else are they going to stay but with you? So I truly understand the hardships that immigrants go through. In fact, I have a little bit of a policy in the office where I would much rather hire a person that I know comes from an immigrant family than a person that's been here for 3 or 4 generations, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why is because not that I feel, I've learned this. This is something that I'm convinced by, that immigrant families work harder. They work much harder. They have different values. They have different, viewpoints. So to your point, would my son, in his 20s or 30s work at a car wash I don't know. I don't know if he's going to want to, right?
Yeah.
But me, yeah, man, I busted my butt. I worked as a waiter for many years when I was a teenager,
Yeah,
but
of course.
I don't know if I would go back to that today, but I did that for many years. So, immigrants, I'm an immigrant. I'm not sure about you, but we immigrants are the backbone of America.
100%.
So, it's just the shame is in the fact that the people that are creating the crime and doing all this nonsense is really tainting the water for all the people that are not.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So AI, speaking, and I know you like to talk about it. I've seen some of your videos behind it. Do you see that disrupting any of your businesses? Do you see that adding value to your businesses? I'll tell you, what I'm viewing on our end at WeLend, we're huge on AI, right? We're trying to create it in a way where, not that it's going to replace people, but it's going to add value to the bottom line and enable us to grow much quicker. So what we started doing is adding it into our underwriting. So we had a little bit of a hiccup. We had a loan that we were doing. It was in process for about 4 or 5 days, and we were going to closing. And 2-3 days, a day before closing, we learned on 1 page of the appraisal. When the appraisal was done, it was buried into the appraisal. It was 1 sentence: there is potential fire damage. So we're like, holy shit, there's fire damage in the house. We didn't know about it. The borrower didn't disclose it to us. So we called the borrower, like, hey, why don't you tell us about the fire damage? This is a big deal. Bottom line, we've rectified it. But the loan officer came up. He's like, look, you've had the appraisal for 3-4 days. Why didn't you catch it? My response then was, the appraisal is 78 pages long, and it was 1 little sentence in the appraisal. We didn't have access into the property because we try to do it as fast as we can. But you're right, we should have caught that, right? So then, like a light bulb went on. I'm like, if I threw this into AI, I'm pretty sure, and I asked the AI, like, what red flags do you have in this appraisal? It would probably tell me, hey, there's fire damage, right? You need to know this, you need to address this right away. So we, after that, started implementing AI into a lot of what we're doing, not only from a origination standpoint of view, but from an underwriting and risk management standpoint of view. It's helping us a lot. You can't rely on it solely, but it's helping us a lot. How are you seeing it transform your businesses or add to your businesses?
That's all I study right now. So
You have to.
I have 4 AI engineers that work for me.
Love it.
Top of the line AI
Expensive,
engineers.
probably.
Very expensive,
Yeah.
but well worth it.
Yeah.
Nerds.
I love the nerds.
Where, there's no other, I could say this confidently, there's no other business brokerage that's doing it like we're doing it.
Yeah. I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it. So listen, I think AI, it's important because guess what? If you're not doing it, your competitors are.
I clone myself, by the way.
You have to.
I have a little clone like this. Like, I'm not even me right now. Right?
By the way, that's what I'm trying to do, right? So a lot what we've learned is my underwriters, and we have few of them, right? And myself, our loan officers, our salespeople, they're coming up with a ton of questions, and they should. It's the right thing. But those questions, for us to explain to them the answers, right, takes any conversation takes at least 20 to 30 minutes, right? So what we've learned is like, all right, we know what those common questions are. Let's feed it into our AI and let's give that access to all our loan originators so that when they have that question come up, because it's, loan officer A and B have the same questions related to one, separate files. Now what we've done is we've saved a good 2 to 3 hours a day for our underwriters to not to have to answer those questions, because now that question is being posed to the AI who's answering that question for our loan originator. So I think that is very, very important. And the challenge is that, listen, if you're not doing it, if you're not embracing AI, your competitor is.
Absolutely.
And the question is who gets there first. And to be honest with you, I think you and I both alike, we want to get there first. We don't want our competitors to get there before us.
You know what's really interesting? New York is, Queens actually, where we are,
Yeah.
is the most diverse city in the world.
Yeah, Jackson Heights is the most diverse,
In the world.
city. Yeah, exactly.
So what we're doing with AI is, I could speak any language.
It's so funny you said that. Yeah,
I could speak Cantonese. I
Yeah.
could speak anything.
Yeah.
And I'm getting my message out to all the different communities
Smart. On social media.
on social media. You're gonna see that.
And by the way, you've been huge on social media. Like, you gotta, I guess, one-on-one, we're not gonna tell the listeners, but you gotta teach me how you actually developed
secret
such a
sauce right there. Some
huge
secret
following,
sauce.
man. I'll pay top dollar.
Nah.
10% commission. By the way, you have 10% commission.
I always have
on
10%
your
commission, 'cause
hat.
I want everyone to
What
know.
does that mean?
This means that the standard business brokerage commission is 10%.
Whew!
That's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
So for any business you sell, let's just say you sell a business for, I don't know, $200,000, right? Your commission would be $20,000?
Yeah, but if I sold it for 100, I have a minimum fee of 20,000. So it's
Oh,
20%.
nice. And that's what your group makes,
Yeah,
right?
we don't co-broker.
Gotcha.
We
Smart.
never co-broker.
Smart. So listen, I mean, that's why it's easy for you to be able to recruit as many people as you can, because they make a shitload of money.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing.
I mean, people are making big money.
I love it, man.
Big money.
I love it. So I want to go back to that partnership just a bit more. So you're starting this partnership. I know it's kind of like in the early stages. You're looking to really scale the hell out of this thing. But like, what returns are your investors, expecting, or should they be expecting? Is there any kind of tax incentives that are kind of built into that?
Yeah. So it's not a fund. This
Right.
is a partnership.
Yep.
So everyone can take advantage of the depreciation.
Nice.
We're gonna do some stock sales if it makes sense, but we're really gonna focus on mostly asset purchase agreements. As far as returns, I don't get into anything unless I'm making minimum 20-25%. Minimum 20-25%. If I'm not making 20%, I'm not interested.
Cash on cash, IRR, right?
IRR 20%. If I'm
Nice.
not interested,
Nice.
I'm not doing it unless I could flip it in 6 months for 3 or 4 times what I got it for.
I'll do that all day. Count me in.
For an example, I did a deal with our first, so it's called Billionaire Buyers Club. Everyone's going to see it. It's going to go viral.
Nice.
I did a deal. We bought a business, $250,000. We're selling it for $2 million
Love it.
in 6 months.
Love it. Why didn't you call me for that one?
That one, I just brought my couple of friends in for that one.
I love it, man. So listen, I think there's a lot of value in what you're doing. I don't know anyone that does it. I don't think anyone does it. I don't know anyone that does it, right? So I think what you're doing is really going to help a lot of people make a lot of money, and especially when you're investing it into multiple businesses. And your dollar is not going into one specific business. I think it's going to bring a lot of value.
Yeah, and we have our own accounting company.
Nice.
We have our own insurance company.
Nice.
We have our own credit card merchant processing company.
Nice.
We're taking advantage, and everyone in the group, everyone's eating on that. I'm not taking it from me. All the referrals that are coming back, they're going right into the business's bank account.
I love it. Oh, so all the CPAs in the whole nine, the CPA company in the whole nine, it's all already
all
owned.
in-house.
Oh, I love it, man.
SBA broker, in-house, kickbacks on that.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Listen, keep doing what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Keep it up. Him and I, we actually met coincidentally. I saw one of your posts and I just messaged you. I was like, bro, I love what you're doing. Keep it up. We should join, for a podcast or lunch one day. He responded within like seconds, right? Like, so just shows you how humble and cool you are, and to really come out here to Queens. I really appreciate this. How can the viewers, how can the listeners get to you, contact you, and learn more about this new partnership that you're forming?
Instagram, Business Broker Business Broker King, YouTube, Business Broker King, and that's the best way to reach me.
There we go. I love it. So you hear it here. Again, special thank you to you for coming out.
Thank you.
And I wish you the best of luck with the Billionaires Club. I know you're going to crush it and kill it. And all the viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. Talk
Thank
soon.
you.